Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir tout le monde. Guests, would you please rise and join me in welcoming the Honorable Louise Imbeau, lieutenant-gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick. Veuillez s'il vous plaît vous lever et vous joindre à moi pour accueillir l'honorable Louise Imbeau, lieutenant-gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick. Good evening and welcome to the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation's 2025 Scholarship Celebration. You can sit down. This is a very disciplined crowd. The silence was impeccable. We're so excited that you are here this evening. Before we begin, we respectfully acknowledge that the evening's event is taking place in the city of St. John, Menequesque, which is situated on the traditional territory of Wolastoqey Maliseet people. Les Wolastoqey, ainsi que leurs voisins autochtones, les Mi'kmaq et les Passamaquoddy, ont signé au 18e siècle des traités de paix et d'amitié avec la couronne britannique qui protégeait leurs droits sur les terres et leurs ressources. New Brunswick is situated on the unceded and unsurrendered territories of the Wolastoqey, Mi'kmaq, and Passamaquoddy peoples. We seek to repair and rebuild meaningful relationships with Indigenous people and honor these lands which hold the hopes of future generations. Je m'appelle Nicole Leblanc. Je suis pédiatre. I'm coming to you this year with a new title. Je suis maintenant la doyenne associée en Atlantique francophone pour la Faculté de médecine et des sciences de la santé de l'Université de Sherbrooke, doyenne associée de l'Université de Moncton, ainsi que la nouvelle directrice du Centre de formation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick. It is my great pleasure to join you all as tonight's Master of Ceremonies. Bienvenue particulier à nos participants inscrits à nos 2 programmes de formation médicale au Nouveau-Brunswick. Une belle soirée nous attend. Let me now also introduce our hosts. Will the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation's Board of Directors and staff members please stand? Je vous invite à vous lever. Directors in attendance, Dr. Rob Fisher, David Husis, Don Mitchner, Dr. Sam Palmer, Dr. Michael Simon, and myself. Directors that were unable to attend this evening: Michael Doyle, Dr. Jennifer Hall, Nora Kelly, Ed Keyes, Nora Mallory, Bob Manning, Dr. Jim O'Brien, Nick Sell, and Dorothy Shepard. We also have our amazing staff: Alyssa Long, Executive Director, Natalie Boyce, Student and Alumni Relations, and David Ryan, Fundraising Manager. Thank you very much. Merci. Before we get underway, I have a few housekeeping notes to share. First, please take a moment to locate the nearest exits in case of an emergency. A lot of doctors in the room, but we're not all on call. You will also notice a camera crew that's present here this evening. This event is being live streamed to the Foundation's Facebook and YouTube pages. This is part of the initiative to ensure tonight's ceremony is as accessible to as many New Brunswickers as possible. Thank you, all of you, for being here to celebrate an exceptional cohort of future healthcare providers. Aucune des activités de ce soir ne serait possible sans nos grands donateurs, généreux comme toujours, dont beaucoup sont présents ici ce soir. Your generosity has provided so many of these students with the confidence, motivation, and financial security to pursue their dreams and make a difference in the lives of others. And now, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Louis Zimbaud, Lieutenant-Gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick, to deliver tonight's official welcome.
Merci beaucoup, Dr. Leblanc. Dear friends, chers amis, bonsoir, good evening, koe. Je suis ravie d'être parmi vous pour ce gala de remise de bourse d'études de la Fondation d'éducation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick. I'm delighted to join you for the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation's 2025 Scholarship Gala. In New Brunswick and throughout Canada, healthcare is a fundamental right. Many of us take great pride in the fact that New Brunswickers of all backgrounds and of all incomes have access to universal health care. Our healthcare system is not perfect, but the doctors, nurses, support staff, and administrators who treat New Brunswickers are community pillars who provide the best possible care to their patients. It is important for the medical professionals to reflect our communities, to know what it's like to live in a rural Francophone village, to live in an Indigenous community, or to live in a bustling multicultural background neighborhood in one of our large cities. Si les Néo-Brunswickois et les Néo-Brunswickoises de tous horizons méritent d'avoir accès aux services médicaux dont ils ont besoin, les professionnels des soins de la santé devraient aussi refléter la diversité de notre province. J'espère que ces bourses vont encourager les futurs médecins issus de communautés sous-représentées à s'établir et à rester ici. Les réalités en milieu rural francophone, dans les communautés autochtones ou dans les quartiers urbains multiculturels sont bien différentes les unes des autres. En diversifiant la cohorte de médecins, en intégrant leurs perspectives et leur expérience de vie, les citoyens et les citoyennes recevront des soins mieux adaptés à leurs besoins particuliers. Dans le contexte actuel de pénurie de médecins, nous devons éliminer les obstacles qui s'imposent devant les Néo-Brunswickois de naissance et les Néo-Brunswickois d'adoption qui choisissent de s'installer ici. Je suis reconnaissante envers le personnel de la Fondation d'éducation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick, ainsi que tous les généreux donateurs qui permettent aux étudiants en médecine, aux étudiants et étudiantes en médecine de poursuivre leurs rêves et d'atteindre leurs objectifs. Medicine should not be reserved to those who have the financial means to undertake these studies. I hope that young New Brunswickers from underrepresented communities are inspired by this initiative to pursue their own career in the medical field. It's much easier to retain physicians who have established connections and a sense of belonging to the region in which they work. As we navigate the shortage of healthcare professionals, I'm grateful towards the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation and generous donors who are investing in New Brunswick by recruiting our future community health workers. À tous les futurs médecins en l'honneur ce soir, je vous souhaite de bonnes études et j'espère vous revoir ici au Nouveau-Brunswick. To all future doctors being honored today, I assure you that you have a significant impact on the well-being and the quality of life of New Brunswickers. I wish you all the best in the completion of your studies. Thank you for your commitment to practicing medicine in New Brunswick. Thank you. Merci. Wellalin. Bonne soirée.
Tonight would not be possible without our generous sponsors: DP World, AstraZeneca, TD Bank, Acadia Broadcasting, Envision St. John, Wells Private Wealth Management, Stuart McKelvey, and Emerge. As our ceremony sponsors this evening, I would like you to welcome the representative of DP World to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to join you tonight and to follow Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor of New Brunswick, in welcoming you all to this celebration. On behalf of DP World, I want to thank the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation for the opportunity to be part of such an important evening. Most of all, tonight is about you, the scholarship recipients that we are here to celebrate. You represent the future of healthcare in this province. We all know that becoming a physician requires years of commitment, resilience, and sacrifice, and these scholarships are designed to ease that path. These awards are about more than financial support. They represent a promise, a return of service commitment that ensures that your talents will come back to New Brunswick. This means stronger communities, more accessible care, and a healthier future for the families right here at home. At DP World, we believe in making trade flow to change what's possible for everyone. That purpose extends beyond our ports and our logistics companies to the people who make our communities thrive. Two of our global sustainability pillars, health and education, connect directly to the work of this foundation. By investing in the medical students, we are addressing one of the most pressing challenges we face in New Brunswick, the need for more doctors. By building pathways to education and linking them to service in the province, this program strengthens both healthcare systems and community well-being. This is sustainability in action, helping to ensure that opportunities for learning translate into healthier lives for New Brunswickers. Our community investment strategy is rooted in partnerships. We focus our support where it creates lasting impact, whether that is helping young people across education and access education, supporting healthcare initiatives, or backing local organisations that strengthen the communities. That is why DP World is very proud to support the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. We recognise that no one company, government, or organisation can meet society's needs alone, but together we can create change that lasts. To tonight's scholarship recipients, congratulations. Your achievements inspire confidence in the future of medicine and the future of this province. To the Foundation, thank you for building such an innovative model to grow and retain medical talent in New Brunswick. And to everyone else here tonight, thank you all for investing in the next generation of doctors. Your commitment is not just to education or healthcare, but to the long-term strength and vitality of communities across this province. Together, we are building a healthier, brighter future. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. So true that together we can make change last. I would now like to invite to the stage Dr. Michael Simon, co-chair of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful night, another year under our belts for the Foundation that we're extremely, extremely excited about, and when the direction we're going, we're extremely excited about. My name is Dr. Michael Simon. I have the pleasure of being one of the co-chairs on the board of directors for the Foundation, and I have the pleasure of serving with Dorothy Shepherd, who unfortunately couldn't be here. But Dorothy, having a significant amount of experience in healthcare in our province, in social work in our province, couldn't let the evening go by without making sure that I said, congratulations to all you future doctors, and thank you to all the donors and families and friends who have supported these future doctors on their long journey. So if Dorothy checks on me, will you please tell her that I said that, because she'll be very upset with me. Before we dive into tonight's proceedings, I'd like to share a few thoughts with you related to our mission and vision, the Foundation's mission and vision. As a New Brunswick family physician for over 35 years, I've witnessed firsthand the challenges that both patients and doctors have when trying to navigate our current healthcare system. And they're tough challenges. They're very intimidating on both sides of the fence or on both sides of the gurney. There are, according to latest statistics, 180,000 plus New Brunswickers who don't have a primary care physicians. So again, some may be in this room, some may be in the same families or friends, but put yourself in those shoes. When you get sick, when a family member gets sick, who do you call? How do you access help? What avenues are open to you? You don't have a family doctor you can call for an acute illness, no trusted health professional to monitor your chronic conditions or refill prescriptions, and no end to the angst you may experience waiting for help when you need it. Over the course of my career, I've tended to a large practice. I've had up to 3,000 patients, and I've been honored to become, for many of them, their trusted friend and advisor. However, as I edge towards retirement, 35 plus years is a long time, I was getting a sort of an unsettling fear in my gut. What was going to happen to my patients? At the same time I was slowing down, I had 3 colleagues who retired and couldn't find anybody. So those patients, unfortunately, no longer have a family doc, and their access to care is somewhat limited, as many of you know. So I wondered about who's going to take care of my patients, who's going to take care of the families I took care of, the newborns, the seniors. I was slowing down over the last couple of years, and yet every day I was being asked to accept new patients. And then why wouldn't I be asked like any other doctor? There are 180,000 people like you out there looking for somebody. So it's an ongoing problem. It wasn't getting any better. Lucky for me, I stayed around long enough, I get a nice young doctor who was willing to come into my practice. He's a West Sider, although I didn't hold that against him, I still took him in. And so he was very eager to start a practice in St. John. And he's been with me for a couple of years, he's learning how it runs, and I feel so much better knowing my patients will not be left orphaned when I decide to take down my shingle. So that's a victory. And should I mention, he's also a successful medical graduate of this foundation. And he received bursaries, and he decided to stay because of those bursaries, and now my patients are being taken care of. So, and just to jump forward, providing timely and quality care is difficult. It's difficult for the physicians. It's difficult for the patients who need care, as I mentioned. And despite increased spending in healthcare in our province, the share of issues that we have had and do have haven't really changed. Most people in this room, as I mentioned, know somebody who's struggling to get care, a family member or a friend. And when you take that demand, which is growing and growing because our population is growing, as we just talked about a little while ago, and then you combine it with the fact that the average age for the doctor in New Brunswick currently is 49 years old. So for the next 10, 15 years, you will have a max exodus, and that means the demand is getting bigger, supply is going to be pinched that much more. That doesn't lead to a favorable outcome. So those are the struggles and the challenges that we face right now. Okay, I've said it. That's the bad news. But we're not here to celebrate bad news. In fact, we're here to celebrate the good news because we have a solution. The foundation has become a wonderful solution to this problem. And we're here to support this group as I mentioned before, the three amigos who run the foundation. And thanks to them, thanks to the donors, we have been making changes. In fact, since 2010, the Medical Education Foundation has defined a strategy that keeps young doctors practicing in this province. It's resulted in better care for our patients, better access for our patients. Since 2010, we have offered return-to-service bursaries that have kept the graduates here. We've kept them practicing in the province. And I'm talking about world-class medical and allied health professionals putting down roots, serving New Brunswick's medical needs and its population. It's a unique, made-in-New Brunswick model that has been replicated nowhere else in this country and is the best recruiting tool I have ever seen in almost 4 decades. And the numbers, Alyssa will probably talk about it later, the numbers will support that boast on my part. Today we're celebrating a record 166 recipients. That adds up to a staggering $1.4 million in tuition relief. So please help me in thanking the donors and thanking the foundation for 166 bursaries. On the front lines, if you ask me what that translates into, that's 170 years of medical service that the province and the people of the province can tap into. Just imagine those extra hours of care that people can take a piece of. All those orphaned and unattached patients that we get family doctors. I mean, the numbers will keep going up. And this story, as I mentioned, can only be told because of you, the donors and supporters. Otherwise, this place would not exist. The success we're seeing would not happen. In the long run, what you're doing not only saves money because we're keeping people here before they get, treating people before they get sick, but it saves lives. In order to have good medicine, you've got to have enough medicine. If you think about that for a second, it makes sense. So the foundation's working hard to achieve that goal. And I mentioned Dr. Gadet, thank goodness, is one success story that's going to help me and my patients. Oh, I should mention, too, the building where I work now contains not only Dr. Gadet, but Dr. Robert Hamlin, Dr. Benjamin Knight, Dr. Taryn O'Neill, all graduates of the foundation, all practicing in St. John, all have their new practices with a cadre or a group of patients in the hundreds and thousands. I'll just finish off by saying this is a unique solution. The foundation is offering something that no other organization in the country has copied or been successful at. We're keeping students here to practice in this province. It's a system that lets everybody win. Our future doctors, our patients, our donors, and our communities. And as you just heard, it means a great deal to existing physicians to know that patients and practices like mine will be in good hands. The number of alumni in this education foundation grow larger every year. And just to the students, not long ago, they were like you. They were working hard to get through the courses, get through their classes, get through their exams. They were under the same pressures and stresses, but now they're the next generation of medical professionals serving the community. And that's only a few years away, not to intimidate you. The success of the foundation is reflected in the retention recruitment numbers that Alyssa will reflect on later. The financial relief generated by donors and patrons has supported future providers for years going forward now. It's our goal in the hopefully not too distant future to be able to give a scholarship to every single medical student that applies, every single one. Can you imagine what that'll do to the list of unattached patients or the difficulty you have trying to get in to see a doctor? It'll turn that right on its head. So I'd like to conclude by, again, thanking everyone for coming, for congratulating all the students on their awards, and I just can't say enough to all the donors. I'm looking at some of them right there for all the work that they've done. So please don't stop, and I hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Could go off script a little bit, Alyssa. Oh, does it make you too nervous? Comme je vous disais tout à l'heure, dans mon nouveau rôle, j'ai le privilège d'être entourée des personnes étudiantes à tous les jours. Puis, c'est leur sourire, leur enthousiasme, leur motivation qui me donne un renouveau de fierté de pourquoi je suis allée en médecine. So I would ask all of the medical students to please rise so that we can give you guys a great round of applause before we start. We have the best of the best here in New Brunswick. So as previous speakers have noted, we have a record number of scholarships to award tonight. Afin d'éviter les embouteillages, je vous invite à suivre un peu les directives qui s'en viennent. As we move into the awards portion of the evening, will Dr. Simon please join me on stage to greet each recipient? Students, when your name is called, please make your way to the stage. Chaque étudiant, s'il est présent, est invité de monter sur scène pour recevoir son prix. After receiving your prize, please make your way to the donor's corner to greet your donor of your award if they are present and to have a picture taken. I also invite the scholarship owners, the donors, or representative of each scholarship fund, if you are present, to make your way to the donor corner as your award is being called to congratulate this year's extraordinary recipients. You guys ready? All right, let's begin. A&R Fund for Future Nurse Practitioners Scholarship, Lisa Boudreau de Moncton. A&R Fund for Future Physicians Scholarship, Andrew Smith, St. Stephen's. Dan Smith, Moncton. AstraZeneca Medical Scholarship, John Go, Fredericton. I'm maybe going to ask that we save the applause for the end. Bell Alliant Medical Education Scholarship in memory of Dr. David Craig, Connor Simon, St. John. Burton W. Eustis Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Samuel Mega, St. Stephen's, Samuel. Bud and Rita Craig and Doctors Ron, Don, David, Brian Medical Education Bursary, Julia Pappas, Rothsay. Central York, I hope I'm saying the names okay. I apologize if I don't pronounce them totally the way I heard a little bit of a murmur there. Central York Rural Community Medical Education Scholarship, Chris Lewis, Moncton. City of Bathurst Medical Education Scholarship, Pascal Claude Roussel, Saint-Isidore. Raphaël Fournier, Bathurst. City of Dieppe Medical Education Scholarship, Catalina Sek, Dieppe. City of Fredericton Medical Education Scholarship, Swati Jayachandran from Fredericton and Tia Rakosi from Fredericton as well. College of Physicians and Surgeons Medical Education Scholarship, Amelia Mazerol, Lausier Settlement. Cameron Crowell, Rothsay. Caroline Ouellette, Moncton. Dustin McGee, Willow Grove. Mila Veljanowska, St. John. Nick Rushton, Fredericton. Sheridan Hamilton, Fredericton. Valérie Boisvert-Chédiac. CPKC Medical Education Scholarship, Sarah Shepard, St. Stephen. David and Faye Hustis Scholarship, Whitney Shannon, Miramichi. DJ Wilson Family Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Abby Alexander from Rothsay, and Chloé Alexandra Albert de Caraquette. Don and Jane Mitchner Medical Education Scholarship, Sam Arsenault, Dieppe. Dr. D. Norman Gary Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Kate Palmer, Rothsay. Dr. Donald A. Craig Medical Education Bursary, Kendra Hébert, Garnet Settlement. Dr. Eric Ross Foundation Advanced Medical Education Scholarship, Madeline Power, Moncton. Dr. Eric Ross Foundation Intermediate Medical Education Scholarship, Emily Vale, Sussex, and Morgan Nesbitt, St. John. Dr. Frank and Audrey Wanamaker Medical Scholarship, Andrew Luker, Fredericton. Dr. G. William McQuaid Memorial Scholarship, Cameron Keys, Rothsay. Dr. Gillis and Dr. Williams Medical Education Bursary, Amy Dodge from Moncton. Dr. H. Miller McSween Memorial Advanced Medical Education Scholarship, Connor O'Brien, Fredericton. Dr. Enrique and Wanda Toning Medical Scholarship, Emily Ritchie from Fredericton. Dr. Isaac Kaler Farrer Advanced Medical Education Scholarship, Cameron Crowell from Rothsay. Dr. Paul and Gail Sohi and Family Medical Education Scholarship, Michael Conley from Rothsay. Dr. Richard V. Snow Medical Education Bursary, Lauren Ashfield from Rothsay. Dr. Sorab Luchmed Medial Legacy Scholarship, Melissa Laplante de Dieppe. Envision St. John Medical Education Bursary, Dustin McKee, Willow Grove, and Matt Douglas, Rothsay. Exhibition Association of the City and County of St. John, Madison Bell, Grand Bay, Westfield. Faye and David Hustis Family Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Charlie Kavanaugh from St. John. Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Corinne Brideau, Dieppe. Feng Li, Fredericton. And Grace Lafferty, Moncton. Future nurse practitioners of the New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Bridget McKnight, Fredericton. Emily Ritchie, Fredericton. Faith Abarico, Fredericton. Ty Gormley, Shediac. Vicky Parmarsh, Gagetown. Future physicians of New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Abigail Purchase, Wasis. Charles Aymon, Moncton. Eve Justassen, Fredericton. Francis Winters, Moncton. And Geneviève Como, Nigadou. I think we're just going to take a moment and applause these. And as I see they're taking a little bit of time to show all those beautiful smiles. Some of the students that can't be here tonight, it's not necessarily that they don't want to be here, but most of them are either studying or working, doing their clerkship rotations. So a little hello to the students that are on the floors and doing what they're meant to do. So Grand Falls Community Medical Education Scholarship, Patricia Kennedy, Fredericton. Greater Miramichi Medical Education Scholarship, Jaden Ma, Miramichi. Greater St. John Community Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Meredith Elisiu, Quispamsis. Hatchet and Nicholas Medical Education Scholarship, Heather Leach, Moncton. Horizon Health Network Medical Education Scholarship, Aris Saheb, Moncton. Danielle Joyce, Fredericton. Hotspot Parking Medical Education Scholarship, Zoe Simon, Greenfield. John and Jillian Wallace Medical Education Scholarship, Sebastian Hubbard, St. John, Sebastian Hubbard, St. John. Ken and Holly Singh, Tandy Medical Education Scholarship, Brooke Streeter from Rothsay. The Corey Family Medical Education Scholarship, Emily Ryston, Bathurst. Knights of Columbus Medical Education Scholarship, Andrew Luiker, Fredericton. The Laura Hayward Medical Education Scholarship, Andrew Luiker, Fredericton. Lockhart Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Aisha Blanchard, Bocaraquette. Mais Family Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Emma DeLong, Quispamsis. Margaret and Wallace McCain Early Childhood Development Fund, Julia Bent, Miramichi. The New Brunswick Medical Society Scholarship, Lina Alquadi, Moncton, and Sarah Boyd, Hanwell. The New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation Scholarship, Chantel McCracken, Grove Hill. The New Brunswick Scholarship Education Fund for Emerging Physicians, Adam Beckett from St. John. Andrea Pena from Andrea Pena de Grand Barachois. André Cormier de Dieppe. Et Katarina Levski de Campbellton. Oromocto Medical Education Scholarship, Lauren Casey from Fredericton. And I would be remiss if I did not mention the Grand Falls Municipal Medical Education Scholarship, which the foundation was not able to award this year. This award is intended for a medical student planning to practice in the Grand Falls region following graduation. Nous espérons avoir un bénéficiaire l'année prochaine. So that concludes the first half of this evening's scholarship presentation, representing more than $600,000 in tuition relief. Let's have another round of applause for these wonderful recipients. We'll take a short break now to hear from one of our 2025 recipients. Please welcome to the stage AstraZeneca, our first presenting sponsor, to introduce our first student speaker. Danielle. Who said that the names weren't complicated, I just had to remember his last name, Fougère.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Nicole. It's a pleasure to be here again on behalf of AstraZeneca this year. This is a program that we take tremendous pride in at AstraZeneca. It's one of these initiatives we get a chance sometimes to support initiatives in the community, and we always hope that they're going to grow and be sustainable over time. And this is probably one of the best examples that we have of a project that we supported over 15 years ago. So credit to the founders of this program, Dr. Craig and Dr. Marr, and to the NB Medical Education Foundation for all the work and the growth that's kind of happened over the years. It's quite amazing. Also wanted to take just a quick second just to recognize some of my counterparts that have worked on this years ago. We've had a lot of different players at AstraZeneca over the years, and one of them unfortunately passed away this year, Martin McNeil. And Martin was a big part of AstraZeneca being able to contribute the initial donor award and supported it year after year after that while he worked with us for over 20 years. So I just wanted to recognize Martin here tonight as he passed away a couple of months ago, sadly. But also while I'm up here, I want to say big congrats to the students. What a nice evening for you. I've got kids that are around your age now. I have kids in my community that are benefiting from this award, and this young man I don't know personally, but I've seen in the community. I think last year the reward recipient lived in a community I'd never heard of, so I think this year they gave me one in Dieppe because that's where I live, so made it easy for me. And I think they wanted to point out how maybe I didn't kind of pan out as good as I could have been, because this young man kind of seems a bit like me. So he graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, just like I did. I decided not to pursue physiotherapy school. He's decided to go into medical school, so he's in first year now. I've always played hockey all my life. I've coached and so on and so forth, but this person decided to one-up me again and play professional hockey for a number of years. And I also took pride in looking after and taking care and spending time with my grandparents when I was younger. But he's again gone above and beyond and beat me there too, and has volunteered in nursing homes in the communities, and has decided to give back and join medical school and make an impact in his community. And he's got a great quote here that speaks to his commitment to coming back to his communities, but I'm almost afraid that in his video here he's going to repeat it, so I don't want to be repetitive. So congratulations to Alexis Dubé. I think we've got a video queued for him that because he wasn't able to join us, and big congrats to everybody here again tonight.
Salut tout le monde, je m'appelle Alexis Dubé, étudiant en première année en médecine à l'Université de Sherbrooke. Je suis extrêmement reconnaissant d'avoir l'opportunité aujourd'hui de parler un petit peu de mon parcours, vous donner une meilleure vue d'ensemble de qui je suis comme personne. Mais avant tout, j'aimerais prendre un moment pour remercier la Fondation d'éducation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick, qui, entre autres, m'a donné un soutien financier dans la dernière année qui me permet d'être vraiment une éponge. Donc, capter le plus d'informations possible, avoir le plus d'expositions cliniques possible, puis vraiment apprendre davantage de mon expérience d'études en tant qu'étudiant en médecine pour un jour être le meilleur médecin possible. Aussi, le soutien financier obtenu de la part de la Fondation me permet de redonner à ma communauté par le biais de bénévolat, ce qui ne serait peut-être pas possible sans cette belle opportunité. Donc, c'est quelque chose que je suis extrêmement reconnaissant envers. Un petit peu sur moi-même, je suis originaire d'une petite ville au nord de la province nommée Saint-Quentin, où le sentiment d'appartenance, bien-être collectif et de communauté ont toujours été des valeurs importantes pour moi et ma famille. Puis je pense aussi que c'est des valeurs que nous partageons en tant que province. Je pense que nous sommes fiers de dire que nous sommes des Nouveaux-Brunswickois bilingues. De mon côté, je suis aussi fier de dire que je suis un Acadien qui a l'opportunité de poursuivre ses études médicales dans sa langue maternelle, le français. Puis c'est ce sentiment d'appartenance-là, puis de bien-être collectif qui fait entre autres que j'aimerais avoir la chance d'un jour pratiquer la médecine au Nouveau-Brunswick. Donc, redonner à ma communauté, faire en sorte que on a un bien-être collectif, on a une meilleure santé en donnant des soins de santé qui sont accessibles, qui sont inclusifs, puis qui sont axés sur le bien-être des patients. Donc, entre autres, c'est un petit peu ce sentiment-là d'appartenance qui fait qu'un jour, j'aimerais avoir l'opportunité de travailler avec ma population, ma communauté. Un petit peu sur moi-même, je suis gradué l'an dernier du baccalauréat en kinésiologie à l'Université de Moncton. Étant un hockeyeur de longue date, j'ai aussi pris part à l'école de la vie que j'appelle les sports. Ça m'a permis de développer mes compétences interpersonnelles, sociales, avoir une idée de l'autonomie, la discipline, plein de qualités comme ça. Et puis à l'époque, j'étais pas nécessairement certain de quoi ça allait me donner. J'étais pas nécessairement. Je vous mentirais si je vous dirais que la médecine, pour moi, a toujours été le but ultime. Ça a plutôt été quelque chose qui a été acquis par les années, par le bien d'expérience, avec beaucoup de réflexion. Et puis, au début de mon parcours, j'ai toujours été un petit peu inspiré par la physiologie humaine, le bien-être physique, comment est-ce qu'on pouvait prévenir des maladies chroniques par le bien d'exercice physique. Puis c'est encore quelque chose qui m'a à cœur. Mais je vous dirais que j'ai vraiment développé le sentiment de vouloir poursuivre mes études en médecine après avoir été exposé au système de la santé. Donc, quelques années passées, ma mère a été gravement malade. Puis, malheureusement, c'était une période difficile. Mais après avoir fait réflexion, j'ai été marqué de façon positive par certains médecins, par certains professionnels de la santé, qui m'ont, entre autres, permis de voir que le rôle d'un médecin va au-delà de traiter une condition, va au-delà de traiter une maladie ou une personne. Ça va guider le patient, les familles, les proches, dans n'importe quelle direction que la vie peut nous apporter. Puis ça, c'est toutes des choses qui sont imprédictibles, mais qui peuvent être difficiles, comme qui peuvent être très positives chez d'autres. Puis maintenant, après réflexion, malgré le fait que c'est des années difficiles, j'apprécie le fait d'avoir eu l'opportunité d'avoir cette sensibilisation-là. Puis je pense que ça va faire de moi une personne qui va pouvoir plus voir les patients dans leur ensemble, donc dans leur entièreté, pouvoir mieux les comprendre, pouvoir mettre en place un plan d'action et des soins qui sont vraiment axés sur ce qu'il, elle ou il désire. Donc tout ça a comme fait que c'est mon pourquoi la médecine. Puis je vous dirais que c'est des choses qui peuvent fluctuer, qui peuvent changer à chaque année selon les expériences qu'on vit. Mais je suis reconnaissant d'avoir l'opportunité de poursuivre mes études. Puis je suis aussi humble de l'opportunité que les personnes qui vont venir nous voir plus tard, c'est des personnes qui vont entre autres être vulnérables. Donc je pense que ma sensibilisation, mon niveau d'empathie, c'est quelque chose qui peut pas être pris pour acquis, puis nécessairement avec la technologie puis les différentes intelligences artificielles qui se développent, une chose qui va rester dans la médecine, c'est vraiment le contact humain. Puis je pense que j'ai hâte de pouvoir avoir cet impact-là, puis j'inspire un jour à avoir l'impact que certains médecins ont eu sur moi, puis avoir cet impact positif-là à ma communauté. Donc, je suis prêt à donner une certaine partie de mon cœur à la profession, à mes futurs patients, dans le but d'assurer un bien-être collectif au Nouveau-Brunswick, un mieux-être général, une meilleure santé, avoir une meilleure prévention de maladies chroniques par le bien de bonnes habitudes de vie, l'activité physique. Donc tout ça fait en sorte que j'aimerais un jour pouvoir encadrer davantage de patients pour un mieux-être collectif. Donc je suis très reconnaissant aujourd'hui d'avoir eu cette opportunité. Je remercie encore une fois la Fondation pour le soutien financier. Et puis, on va travailler ensemble pour le bien-être de notre population.
Merci, Alexis. Ton parcours est très inspirant. Alexis mentioned a few things that I can't let go by. He talked about values. He talked about sentiment d'appartenance, belonging. I think one of our strengths here in New Brunswick is the fact that we're a small province. We're very human. We're tightly knitted. And we're just really good connectors and collaborators. So I would like now to have, we had the students stand, I would like to have the family members and friends and people from the community to please stand, because when things are going rough, when things are going really well, and that we want to celebrate, or we have obstacles and we need support, these are the people that we can count on. So members from the community, family members and friends, please rise. And now let's give you a good round of applause. I could not have gotten through med school without my family, my friends, and my community. Nous sommes maintenant prêts à accueillir la deuxième moitié des récipiendaires de cette année pour un total additionnel de 800 000 en allègement de frais de scolarité. None of this work would be possible without our donors. Thank you again for supporting these incredible recipients. Would Dr. Simon please join me back on stage? And let's continue with the awards. The Pat Dara Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Milia Barbour, St. John. Province of New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Cynthia Légère Dieppe. Laurette Numa, oh, I'm really sorry if I... St. John. So how do we pronounce it? Wanema, there we go. All right. Province of New Brunswick Medical Education Scholarship, Malik Anan, Dieppe. Mansa Agbagu, St. John. The RBC Foundation Medical Education Scholarship, Eliza Maxwell, Moncton, and Luke McDonald, Miramichi. The Regional Development Corporation Medical Education Scholarship, Adam Duguay, Tracadie. Amy Dodge, Moncton. The Robert R. McCain Memorial Education Scholarship, Danielle Deschamps, Upper Kingsclear. The St. John LNG Medical Education Scholarship, Neela Hussein, St. John. And Rachel Lewis, Rothsay. The Scotiabank and MD Financial Management Medical Education Scholarship, Mohamed Munir Benjilali, Bathurst. The Sir James Dunn Medical Bursary, Caitlin Gowlett, St. John. Mackenzie Moore, St. Andrews. Powell Moore, St. Andrews. And Reagan O'Leary, St. Andrews. We're going to have a crew from St. Andrews. Sisters of Charity of the Immaculate Conception Medical Education Bursary, Madison Harrington, Quispamsis. Steve's Family Medical Education Scholarship, Whitney Shannon, Miramichi. The Straight Shores Medical Education Scholarship, Shelby Easterbrooks, Riverview. Tantramar Medical Education Scholarship, Alexander Hack Polly, Riverview. TD Bank Medical Education Scholarship, Abdel Sliman, Moncton. The Future Physicians of Tantramar Medical Education Scholarship, Taylor Wilson, Dieppe. In 2023, the province of New Brunswick announced a $2.5 million contribution to the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. These funds were used to establish the New Brunswick Department of Health Scholarship, providing return to service scholarships for 67 students in 2025, totaling $540,000 in tuition fees. Will the team from the Department of Health please make their way to the donor corner to recognize these recipients? And I have to say, these people work day and night to make our healthcare system what it is. People from government, they're in the background, in the backstage, but they're just always there to support us and to make things happen. So the New Brunswick Department of Health Scholarship Funds. Erin Noël Gallardo, Dieppe. Aisha Blanchard, Bocaraquette. Alana Bonsac, Hanwell. Alexis Dubé, Dieppe. Amélie Cormier, Dieppe. Angela Levski, Tidehead. Anissa Belkaïd, Dieppe. Anna Miller, Sussex. Anna Michelle Alla, Neguac. Audrey Blanchard, Sainte-Marie-Saint-Raphaël. Benjamin Peterson, Grand Bay, Westfield. Bilal Khan, Miramichi. Brooke Lynn Richards, Miramichi. Caitlin Reardon, Puckshaw. Je pense qu'elle est là. Caitlin Harper, Rossay. Catherine Cormier, Dieppe. Chantal McLean, Rossay. Clément Degrasse, Chipagan. Damien Robichaud, Dieppe. David Leblanc, Dieppe. Drew Langille, Quispamsis. Eliane Carey, Pointe-Alexandre. Dis-moi de la péninsule là-bas, là. Emily Jarvis, Sackville. Emma Shaw, Rossay. Emma Vibert, Miscou. Erika Little, Moncton. Esther Yi, Rossay. Eva Brenda Bandayera, Moncton. Eve Béliveau, Dieppe. Eve Chiasson, Bathurst. Eve Catherine Marquis, Dieppe. Fahad Vayani, Fredericton. Florence Lévesque, Dieppe. Gehai Jiang, Fredericton. Gabrielle Landry, Charlot. Haley Burns, Moncton. Hannah Isaac, Rothsay. Isabella Lemaire, Dieppe. Jade Pitre, Dieppe. James Craig Paddle, Dieppe. Jayati Ray, St. John. Jeff Gresso, Moncton. Jenna Alquade, Moncton. On en a encore plein, là. C'est le fun. Oui, oui, oui. Another round of applause. Josiane Como, Bathurst. Julie Gallian, Caraquette. Kiera Dolan, Rothsay. Kiha Kim, Moncton. Laurence Basque, Tracadie. Lilai Jin, Fredericton. Lindsay Kearney, Rothsay. Logan Grossman, Riverview. Madison Worth. Nawi Jawak. Marc Francis Paquette, Caraquette. Marissa Curie, Tracadie. Martin Andrew Whitman, Clarendon. Matt Douglas, Rothsay. Maude Couturier, Fredericton. Michael Conley, Rothsay. Minji Choi, Quispamsis. Natasha Vatcher, Oromocto. Sarah Eve Blanchard, Bathurst. Shannon Mayer, Fredericton. Shaughnessy Reardon, Pokeshaw. Simon Olivier Friolet, Caraquette. Sium Nur Mohamed Moïdine, St. John. Sufyan Faridi, Quispamsis. Véronique Duguay, Bathurst. Et Victoria Lutz, Riverview. A big round of applause for our recipients. We'll just give them a few minutes to take the group picture, and then we'll move on to the final awards. Puis en même temps, j'en profite, le groupe du Centre de formation médicale du Nouveau-Brunswick, à la fin, je vous inviterai à venir en avant. J'aimerais avoir le privilège d'avoir une petite photo avec vous autres aussi. All right, the last group, Tim Cameron Memorial Scholarship, Courtney Strugnell, Riverview. Town of Quispamsis Medical Education Scholarship, Soan Su, Quispamsis. Town of Riverview Medical Education Scholarship, Josiane Stadler, Shediac Bridge, puis Logan Grossman, Riverview. Town of Rothsay Medical Education Scholarship, Patrick Butler, Rothsay. And the Walter and Joan Flewelling Memorial Medical Education Scholarship, Ellen Dao from St. John. Once again, congratulations to all the students. Les lauréats de ce soir forment un groupe extraordinaire, talentueux et bien accompli. When they apply to the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation each year, they share so much more than their resume or transcript. Ils partagent avec nous leur histoire de vie et leurs rêves. Let's celebrate these 166 students and the $1.4 million in scholarships awarded this evening with one more round of applause. And before we go to the next speaker, we have the community, we have the students, we have the family members, but I would really love to see the donors that are here this evening. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for your great generosity. The founders, the leaders, and the people that have been year in, year out, always present every single year. So would you please let us applaud you and stand for us, please. And I would even dare to say that behind each of those donors and each of those donations, there's a human story that inspired it. So thank you very much once again. Now, we'll hear from another one of our 2025 recipients. Please welcome to the stage our TD Bank representative who will present our next student speaker. Grace Lafferty will speak, and I think that, yes, please come up.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Zainab Satchu, and it's a pleasure to be here on behalf of TD Bank to celebrate the incredible work of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation and the students that represent the future of healthcare in our province. At TD, we believe in strong communities, and that strong communities are built by people who care. And no one embodies that more than our healthcare professionals. Your compassion, your commitment are what truly makes healthcare in New Brunswick exceptional. TD has had the privilege of supporting healthcare professionals for many years, from medical students to established practitioners, whether it's student banking, flexible lending, or guidance as you build out your practice. Our goal is to be your trusted partner through every stage of your journey. We're proud to support this foundation and its mission to keep exceptional physicians right here in New Brunswick, because investing in students means investing in the health of our communities. And speaking of exceptional students, it's my pleasure to introduce Grace Lafferty, a second-year medical student at Dalhousie Medicine in New Brunswick, originally from Moncton. Grace holds a Bachelor of Health Sciences from Queen's University, and she hopes to pursue a residency in family or emergency medicine. She's an active volunteer and a passionate advocate for patient-centered care, someone who truly reflects the values we celebrate tonight. Please join me in welcoming Grace Lafferty.
Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to stand here tonight, not just as a medical student, but as someone whose journey to healthcare began long before I ever picked up a stethoscope. When asked the age-old question, why do you want to be a doctor? There isn't one defining moment in my life that answers this completely. It's a constellation of experiences that have led me down this path. One significant moment was when I was 8, attending a gala much like this for the Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation. My parents shared the story of my younger brother's time in the neonatal intensive care unit. My mom's voice shaked as she described the support of the nurses, the doctors who explained everything with care, and the allied health professionals who gave my brother every chance to survive. My dad said that they weren't just treating an infant, they were caring for my whole family. My brother is now a healthy 20-year-old, but even today my family still talks about these providers with admiration. Their compassion, their skill, and their ability to make my parents feel seen and supported has left a mark on us all. And that moment planted a seed in me, not just that I wanted to become a physician, but I wanted to become that kind of physician, one who leads with empathy, one who listens, and one who understands that healing isn't just physical, it's emotional, relational, and deeply human. Throughout my adolescence, this seed began to grow. I began my undergraduate degree and started to learn more about human physiology, how the human body works, how things can go wrong, and how we can intervene. After completing my first year at DMNB, I could not be more confident that this was the right path for me. Now, one thing I've noticed is since starting school, pretty much everywhere you go, people want to know if you're going to stay in New Brunswick. and that doesn't matter if it's your friends or your family or even a stranger that catches a glimpse of your medicine logo in the grocery store. Everyone wants to know if you're going to stay. And I have to laugh because it's so obvious to me now that I'm going to, but it wasn't always this way. After high school, I moved to Ontario to study at Queen's. And in my grade 12 year, you couldn't talk me out of leaving our province. My parents are sitting over there if you want to ask them. I was completely determined to go somewhere bigger and somewhere I thought was quote unquote better. And as cheesy as it sounds, it was only in leaving that I realized exactly what I had left behind, our sense of community, the people, and my true home. Throughout this past year, I've heard countless stories from patients who have experienced a lack of access to timely healthcare services, including long wait times for primary healthcare and long distances traveled for diagnostic testing. These firsthand remarks have made the issue of New Brunswick healthcare access feel personal. To me, this is no longer a political debate or a statistic. These are real people in our community that are falling through the cracks. And I'm more motivated than ever to be involved in tangible change. Of course, none of this would be possible without the support of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation and the Friends of the Moncton Hospital Foundation. I could go on forever and talk about the financial strain that's put on medical students and how it impacts me. So not only does this scholarship help lift some of the burden, but it has given me something much more powerful. And that's a reminder that I have a community rallying behind me and investing in my future. So thank you. Thank you to the foundation, to everyone in this room, and to the patients and families that continue to inspire me. I'm proud to be a part of the next generation of healthcare providers, and I'm proud to serve New Brunswick. Thank you very much.
It all starts with a human story. I'm a pediatrician. It all starts with babies. Thank you very much, Grace, for that inspiring talk and also just bringing that human side of it all starts with a story and one little seed. So we never know what the seed is going to grow into. Now, please help me in welcoming Alyssa Long, our Executive Director, to deliver the evening's closing remarks. Alyssa is a new mom, so you also have to kiss your little baby when you get home and thank your little baby for sharing you with us in these precious moments of their life as well. So please help me in welcoming Alyssa to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Bonsoir. It is such a pleasure and a privilege to be here. As Dr. LeBlanc said, I do have a 3-month-old at home. So last year I had so many compliments because I delivered this speech without notes, and I'm now very sleep deprived. So I have a few notes. I have 3 questions I've written down, and I would like to talk about those 3 questions now. The first is, what are we celebrating tonight? And the most obvious answer is the medical students and the nurse practitioner students who are in this room tonight, who are going to be the future healthcare providers for New Brunswick patients, who are going to help us address some of the biggest challenges we face. And I have so much admiration for the work you're doing, not only the courses and the stresses and the pressures you're taking on today, but for the service and dedication you will provide in careers for decades to come. That is incredible. The work you're doing is incredible. And we're also celebrating the realization of a dream. We heard earlier about Dr. Donald Craig and his vision to create the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. And I'll share a little bit about how that dream came to be. So much like Dr. Simon, who spoke about his decades in practice and what would happen when he retired, Dr. Donald Craig, back in 2010, had a very similar fear. What would happen when he left practice? What would happen to those patients? And some of you may have heard this story, but please bear with me. But at the time, Dr. Craig thought, what if instead of allocating all of these resources, all of our resources, to bringing physicians to New Brunswick from out of province, what if we took some of those resources and reallocated them to our students, to empowering the next generation of New Brunswick physicians to live and work and establish their careers in New Brunswick? And that's how we were created. And it was an incredible thing. And in that first year, in 2010, this foundation was able to award 3 scholarships, totaling $20,000 in tuition relief. Tonight, we are awarding $1.4 million to 166 students through 176 awards. Since 2010, we have awarded 900 scholarships. How incredible is that? So we often hear the expression on the shoulders of giants. In our foundation, we get to say on the shoulder of one giant, one incredible giant who, though he couldn't be here tonight, I believe he is watching us right now through the live stream. So if we could, please give a hand to Dr. Donald Craig. Thank you. And the final thing that we're celebrating tonight is what you might have seen on our annual report. We've called that reshaping physician recruitment. And it's not because the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation is responsible for reshaping physician recruitment or innovation, but we want to celebrate that sense of innovation and creativity that allows us to find solutions to problems in a proactive, innovative way that are going to make a difference, that are evidence-based, that we can learn from, and that we can scale what works. So I'm really pleased to say, have found one of those solutions. It's part of the vast ecosystem of solutions that are going to help make our province a better place and help us address some of the greatest challenges. My second question that I wrote down is, what makes this possible? First of all, back to you students. Without you, we would not be inspired to do the work we're doing. Every time that you submit a scholarship application, We get to read it and we get to hear the myriad of stories and experiences and perspectives and dreams and goals that you bring to the table. It's incredible. It's one of the greatest highlights of the year is when Natalie and I get to go through those applications and meet you and see who you are. And for those in the room who haven't had that chance, I'll share a few tidbits, which is that our recipients this year come from 43 different New Brunswick hometowns. They're from all over and represent almost every single New Brunswick community. 60% are bilingual and will be able to interact with patients in their language of choice. Isn't that amazing? 45% of our recipients this year are from historically marginalized groups. And over 50 of the students we support are attending Francophone language medical programs as well. So we see students who literally have almost every background we could imagine. And I'm very pleased to say that while we supported 1 future nurse practitioner last year, that number has grown to 7 this year. So we're seeing enormous growth, and we have as well added 1 pharmacist scholarship so far for next year as well. So that list is going to continue to grow, and our goal as a foundation is to enhance access to primary care. So we are going to continue to do that and to grow. The second group that makes this possible is the donors. We've said it time and time again, the donors, the people who allow these scholarships to be possible, are the lifeblood of our foundation. Without you, we wouldn't be able to invest in our future. And it's incredible that every donor in this room, everybody here in this room, we share a collective vision where every New Brunswicker can access the healthcare services they need when they need them most. And we're all collectively working to make that a reality. Isn't that amazing? And then the final group I want to acknowledge is, of course, our staff, our board, and the partners in the healthcare recruitment ecosystem that make this work. Tonight we have Natalie Boyce, David Ryan here, who are my 2 colleagues in the office of the New Brunswick Medical Education Foundation. You've already met our board members. But what's really interesting too is we have members tonight from the Department of Health, who you would have seen Jen up here. We have representatives from both regional health authorities, Horizon and Vitalite, here. We have representatives from both medical schools in New Brunswick here tonight. That level of collaboration, that level of partnership and dialogue, that helps us ensure that for the students, you have the smoothest possible transition into employment here in New Brunswick. And that takes a lot of work, and we're trying to get better at it, and I promise you we will, because it matters. Ensuring that you feel welcomed and valued and everything else, that you have a place, a safe and wonderful, fulfilling career to come to, that matters to us. So my commitment to you students is that we're going to make that happen. And then my third question that I wrote down is, where do we go from here? We've talked about a record year, $1.4 million in tuition relief. That was something I dreamed of 3 years ago. But the fact is we were able to support 80% of applications this year, of eligible qualified applications. That's amazing. That makes us one of the biggest scholarship programs in Canada. And if you apply to our foundation, you have an 8 in 10 chance of getting an award. That's incredible. But wouldn't it be amazing if we could fund 100% of eligible applications? And that, along with David Ryan, our fundraising manager, that's what we're going to try to accomplish. And we've made great strides, and we're going to continue making great strides because we all recognize the need is dire. We all have a stake in healthcare in New Brunswick, personal, professional, and as a citizen. And once we close that gap, we know we'll be able to help with other challenges in the province as well. I don't know if you've seen, but the province published a new healthcare plan last week. And in that plan, 2 of the core challenges in healthcare were identified as workforce development and primary care. Together, this model is addressing both those challenges, and we're going to continue working to continue to find new ways to help and make an even greater difference. We, as a foundation, are more than a scholarship program. Scholarships are the most important thing. They are always going to be the priority, so students, we are always going to have your back. But we also know that we have roles to play in helping succession planning and helping to ensure that the communities where you're going know you're coming and know that it matters, that you feel welcome and valued. So with that, I just wanted to say congratulations again to all of you. It is such a pleasure to see faces. So many of you I've seen on screens or through your applications, and I've been able to put faces to names tonight in a way that is so wonderful. And I can't wait until after our reception and I can see and hear from you more. So with that, thank you so much. Congratulations to our live stream audience. Thank you as well for attending. Good night.
Thank you, Alyssa. I'm sure everybody's saying, if that was lack of sleep in 3 questions, I can't imagine what she would do with more sleep. Yeah. So thank you very much. And congratulations again to all of our recipients, and thank you to our audience members here and the ones that are attending virtually for your time and attention to this evening. Félicitations, félicitations, félicitations. Again, the sponsors of tonight's celebrations are DP World, AstraZeneca, TD Bank, Acadia Broadcasting, Envision St. John, Wells Private Wealth Management, Stuart McKelvey, and Emerge. In addition, we have enjoyed a beautiful venue and food, courtesy of Delta Hotel St. John, AV and live streaming support by Encore, photography by James Walsh, decorations provided by Spur. De nombreuses personnes ont contribué à la planification et à la réalisation de cet événement. Nous espérons que vous vous joindrez à nous l'année prochaine et que vous partagerez votre expérience avec vos amis, vos familles et vos collègues. Before we conclude the live stream and make our way to the mezzanine for a little dessert reception, which is always very lovely, we have a surprise performance to close our evening. Tonight, we would like to welcome the Interaction School of Performing Arts Advanced Performance Company for a special preview of an upcoming show. Members of the Encore team will be coming shortly to move the podium, and there will be a quick 5-minute break to prepare the stage. Don't go anywhere, so you want to see this. Before I lose my mic, please allow me to share a bit about this troupe. Based in St. John, Interaction is more than a place to learn music, dance, and theater. It's a sanctuary where young people aged 4 to 18 discover their voices, build confidence, and form lasting relationships. Au cours des 25 dernières années, Interaction est devenue une communauté dynamique qui met de l'avant la créativité et l'apprentissage collaboratif. Elle façonne la prochaine génération de penseurs et de leaders créatifs. Alumni of Interaction don't just become performers. They become teachers, entrepreneurs, therapists, doctors, and change makers. The skills they've learned, collaboration, empathy, resilience, and public speaking are transferable and transformative. The Advanced Performance Company is Interaction's highest level program for dedicated performers looking to be part of a full-scale musical production. Members rehearse multiple times weekly, receiving top-tier training in acting, singing, and dancing from experienced instructors. Together, they prepare a full-length show and grow as an ensemble. Matilda is the full-length show that they are working on, and tonight, they bring us a sneak peek of that performance. After the performance, we will announce the departure of Her Honor, the Lieutenant-Gouverneur. Then you are welcome to make your way out of the ballroom to the dessert reception. To those joining us online, we will continue to broadcast until the performance is complete. Merci. Bonsoir. That was amazing. Can't wait to go see the play. Congratulations. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor. And give full to the foundation. All right. So, guests, would you please rise once again for the departure of l'Honorable Louise Imbeau, lieutenant-gouverneur du Nouveau-Brunswick. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Once again, we are so disciplined. Now enjoy your desserts.